Well, hello, everyone. Hello. We are in the process of trying some new things out. So let's see if we can get this up. Okay. So let's see if we can get this up and running. Good afternoon and welcome to today's live stream. My name is Susana Briscoe-Alba. I am excited that you guys are here. We are live from my desktop, which is super exciting. And I can't wait to get into our Q&A today. So this is what we're going to do. If you can hear me well, I want you to drop a 0 in the chat. If you can hear me well, I want you to drop a 0 in the chat to let me know that you can hear me well. It's really exciting to see you guys come in. Hello, Alicia. Welcome, sweetheart. If you can hear me well, I want you to drop a 0 in the chat. And I have some good news, y'all. I have some good news for us. Okay. If this is your first time catching a live stream with me, I'm excited that you are here. But I want to give you just some context because the last time that we went live, Instagram was doing the absolute most and it kept cutting me off. So, if for some reason we lose connection today, know that you can find me on Facebook and you'll be able to find me on YouTube as well. And that is where I will be posting the lives. So, you'll be able to catch the lives on YouTube, you'll be able to catch them on Facebook, and you'll be able to catch them here on Instagram. So, I am super pumped about that. I figured out how to do that, y'all, and now your girl doesn't know how to act. So, I'm so excited to be able to do that with y'all today. If this is your first time catching a live with me, if this is your first time catching a live with me, I want you to drop a 1 in the chat and tell me where you are from. If this is your first time catching a live with me and you are new to my space, I want you to drop a 1 and tell me where you are from. If this is not new to you, if you've been rocking with your girl for some time, I want you to drop a 2 in the chat and tell me where you are from. If this is not your first time rocking with your girl, and you are true to this tribe, I want you to drop a 2 in the chat and tell me where you are watching me from. This is my Blue Avocado tribe, my fam bam, people who have been rocking with me, have been showing me love, and I'm so excited to connect with y'all. Now, listen, my name is Susana Briscoe-Alba, for those of you who are new. Um, I am the owner and chief career strategist at Dunami's Coaching and Consulting Services, where we teach women how to land six-figure roles through leadership development and career strategy. Hey, New Jersey. Hey, Texas. Atlanta. Let's go. What's going on, New York? So I'm excited to connect with you guys. Today's live, we are going to be addressing the questions that you guys have. So I promised you that, hey, Switzerland, that I would answer your Q&As, or I should say, I would answer your questions from just kind of where you are in your career. I posted a post on my Instagram and I asked you to please drop your questions there. And so that's what we're going to do in real time. I'm going to answer your questions that you left on that post. And one of the things that I want to just very quickly send some encouragement around is that if you are in the process of your job search, let me encourage you this morning that you are hireable, okay? With the gap on your resume, with the skills that you feel that you still need to acquire, with the skills that you have, with the accent, with you are still hireable, okay? Hireable. So I want you to put hireable in the chat if you're still following me, because I don't want you to lose sight of that truth. You are still hireable. And so this afternoon, it's afternoon my time. I want you to be able to understand that you are still hireable. Okay. So we're going to get into questions. I want to make sure that you can still hear me because this is new. And so I want to make sure that you can still hear me well before I get into questions. Yes, I'm seeing it in the chat. I am hireable. That's right. Yes, you are. And the biggest part that I want you guys to understand, especially if you are in the job search process where you are getting called for interviews and such, if they called you for an interview, it's because they already think you are qualified for it. I'm going to say that one more time because I hope that frees somebody this morning. If they called you for an interview already, it's because they already think that you are qualified for the role. The biggest thing that you need to focus on now is for you to make sure that you are sharing your story and articulating your value effectively. Okay. So know that you are already hireable. If they're calling you for an interview, you already qualify for the role. The biggest thing that you need to focus on right now is making sure that you tell your story with conviction. So, like that, when you go into these interviews, they know that you are the person for the job. Okay. So, I just want to share that very quickly because a lot of what I see online, people just feel burnt out. They're tired. They feel like they are up against the wall. And those are all very valid and true feelings. But I do not want them to dictate the truth of who you are. And the truth is that you are hireable. Okay. All right. So I am going to go into the questions that are on my post. I have my phone with me. So I'm going to go into the questions. So like that, I can answer your questions effectively. And here we go. Y'all ready? If y'all ready to get some of these gems, I want you to drop ready in the chat while I grab some more. Yo, this is so dope that I can go live with you on so many places all at the same time. Because if it pauses on Instagram or you lose me on Instagram, you can go right over to YouTube and find me, same way. And you'll be able to catch the live there too. Okay, so let's see. The first question that I got was how do you strategize seeking employment with another company in the same industry if you've been with your existing company for over a decade? How do you strategize seeking employment with another company in the same industry if you have been with your company for over a decade? Okay. And then the follow up to that was, does the desire for a transition such as this raise eyebrows with recruiters? So the first part of this question was, how do I strategize seeking employment with another company in the same industry? The best way that you can start to strategize for you to find employment in the same industry, even though you have been with your company for over 10 years, is to build your personal brand. Okay. Build your personal brand. And what I mean by that is start sharing your perspective online. One of the questions that I've gotten quite a bit, either from my clients or from people in the DMs, is what do you think is going to happen in 2024 um, when it comes to hiring and the job market? The biggest thing that I think is going to happen in 2024 is we're going to see a lot more people encouraging you to start showing your visibility and sharing your perspective online. Because if you have not noticed, one of the things that I've started to see as a career strategist is that many people are going on interviews, and the first interview is a virtual one and it's a pre-recorded one. So they have questions that they have uploaded into like a system, into an ATS system. You go into that system and that's the first part of your interview. And they're usually asking you the what I call the big four. The big four questions are, why should we hire you? Tell me about yourself. Why are you interested in this role? And probably your salary requirements. So those are usually the four questions. But when you have started to build your brand online, you are now giving recruiters and hiring managers a specific place to come and find you. So instead of you feeling all the jitters and all the nerves of trying to identify how to answer these questions brilliantly, when you have started to build your persona online, when you have started to build your capability online, now you're giving them a specific place to be able to find you. And so you use that strategically so that you can attract opportunities and you don't have to chase them. Okay. That's one of the affirmations that I tell my clients all the time. We don't chase, we attract. And I know that a lot of people tell you or may share that with you, but they don't tell you how are you going to attract those types of opportunities. If you want your LinkedIn inbox to be filled with hiring managers and recruiters reaching out to you, you need to start sharing your perspective online and positioning yourself as an authority. Whether you have been in the organization 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, start to share your perspective and how your perspective answers a solution to a problem within the market. If that makes sense, I want you to type "make sense." If that makes sense for you, I want you to type "make sense." Because when you can strategize that way, you now have taken ownership of your career search. Instead of waiting for somebody to come and find you, you are positioning yourself so like that it's easy for them to find who you are. And I've said this before, companies want to work with top talent. But if nobody knows that you are top talent, they are not going to reach out to you. So start to build your presence online. And here's the thing, I'm going to specifically speak to LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is not like Facebook and Instagram where you feel like you have to be on there all the time. But one or two strategic posts from you a week can significantly change how people interact with you, okay? And how you build social proof. When you have been able to build your brand online and be strategic about what you share about your work that positions you as a solution to a problem, you have now become the authority within that industry. You know why? Because not too many people are taking that approach. And so if you get ahead of the curve and you start sharing your perspective and you start sharing the things that you do and how you do them well, now you are giving hiring managers and recruiters a place to come and find you instead of you feeling like you got to chase them down. Okay. So I hope that that made sense. I hope that that answered the question. The other part to that was, does the desire for a transition such as this raise eyebrows with recruiters? Absolutely not. Hey, friend, how are you? So Eugene Tech Career Coach is one of my friends, my online friends, bestie for the restie, and he is going to keep me honest. So if I'm talking crazy, he is going to chime in. But I love him to the moon and back, and he is awesome. If you don't follow him, you should. Anyway, so does the desire for a transition such as this raise eyebrows with the recruiters? It absolutely does not, because you are taking ownership of your career. And so I want you to think like the enterprise that you are, y'all. Some of us are playing too small. We're playing too small and we have so much talent. And so if you are not going to play small in 2024, I want you to type "not me." I want you to type that in the chat, "not me." Because the thing is, if you want people to find you, you got to tell them where to find you. Notice how when you guys connect with me, you know you can find me. Now you know you can find me here on Instagram, you can find me on Facebook, and you can find me on YouTube. You think that I just woke up one morning and was like, I'm just going to just see how this works out. You have to be intentional about where you're going to be so that when opportunities are flying around, you are already positioned. Okay. So it does not raise any eyebrows. It actually tells me as a hiring manager that you have the wherewithal to position yourself as a authority. Okay. So Brandy J, baby, I hope that answered your question. All right. Next question is, let's see, what's the best approach? What's the best approach going into a performance review when you are already burnt out at work? Do you still ask for a raise or focus on areas of improvement? Do you still ask for a raise or focus on areas of improvement? So here's the thing. The question is, again, I'm going to repeat it. What's the best approach going into a performance review when you're already burnt out at work? Do you still ask for a raise or focus on areas of improvement? My response to that is you do both. You do both. And the reason that I want you to do both is because you need to make sure that you have data to back up the work that you are doing. Okay. The reason why so many people get burnt out is because you take on, you take on, you take on, and you're not asking strategic questions. Okay. And strategic questions sound like this. 9 times out of 10, a manager will not know all of the things that are on your plate, y'all. I'm going to say that again. 9 times out of 10, your manager will not know all of the things that are on your plate. So you need to be strategic in how you are asking for support. And so when they come to you to put another project on your plate, you can respond with something like this. Y'all ready? If you're a note taker, you're going to want to take notes of what I'm saying. Okay. If you're a note taker, you're going to want to take notes. You can ask questions like this. I have a lot on my plate right now, and I want to make sure that you and I are on the same page. Would you like me to stop these projects and focus on this one? Or would you rather me continue with the projects that I am working on right now? Somebody said 10 times out of 10. Okay. So you got to be strategic with how you're asking questions, especially when it comes to the end of year. So you can tell your manager, and I used to do this with my team all the time. I still do this with my team. We meet virtually, but with my team that was in the office, I had a huge whiteboard, and I would tell them, list out everything for me that you're working on, and together we will decide what needs your attention, because I need my team to work on the important over the urgent. I need you to work on the important over the urgent. Urgent is every email that comes in you want to respond to. Urgent is every phone call that comes in you feel like you need to answer. And sometimes those urgencies look like distractions. And so instead of getting important work done, you're putting out fires with the urgent stuff, and then you're overwhelmed and burnt out by the end because you didn't focus on the important. Okay. If this is helping you, I want you to tell me, help me. It's helping me because I want you to be strategic with how you do your work. Some of my team members used to have email open all day. And so when I would ask them for deliverables, they didn't know how to give me those deliverables because they were caught up with responding to every email that came in. Not every single thing needs your attention immediately. So I need you to focus on the important over the urgent, because if you don't focus on the important, it'll turn into a huge fire and then it'll be out of your control. So how do you handle that when you're going into your end of year review or your evaluations? Okay. So you need to go in with an agenda. When you are going into your end of year review, when you are going into your mid year reviews, you should have an agenda. And the reason that you should have an agenda is, again, 9 times out of 10, your manager will not know all of the things that you are doing. One of the things that I encourage my clients to do is to have an evidence list. And in that evidence list, you want to make sure that you are dropping what are the projects that you are working on? What are the timelines for those projects? How many of those projects were able to get completed? Who was it for? What feedback did you get? Feedback becomes important because that is your social proof. So if people are constantly praising you because you get things done, if clients only want to work with you because you have a high level of customer service, if you are the one who is constantly training all of the new hires, baby, you need to start keeping track of that because that is your feedback. And so when you go into your end of year reviews, you now have black and white data that you can share. And when you have that kind of data, now the conversation of compensation becomes a whole lot easier, because now you can assess the market for the fair market value of the position that you are in. And from there, you make decisions. So some of you are doing director level work and you're getting paid assistant director or administrative assistant pay. And you know you're doing director level work. But because you have not tracked it, now you want to go into your end of year review asking for compensation, but you don't have any data to back it up. I'm coming for your edges today, but I want you to be aware of what is possible to you. Okay. So I need you to start keeping an evidence list. An evidence list. Those things become really important and they become crucial for you to be able to showcase your and articulate your value effectively as you're going into end of year reviews. Okay. So you need to be able to track that. The evidence list becomes so important too, because when you're applying for new positions, now you can clearly see what are your transferable skills for where you want to go. Too many of y'all, the reason why you struggle in your search is because you're applying from where you're at instead of applying from where you can be. And so you wonder why you getting turned down for positions or why nobody is responding to you. May I submit to you that some of the positions that you may be applying for, you are overqualified for. Resilience Rise said, my director did nothing and took all the recognition for it. This is why you need to have it in black and white. Because when you are in that place where other people are taking credit for your work, here's one thing that I'm going to tell y'all, and y'all are probably going to be upset. Let them. Let them try to take ownership of your work. And then when things don't work out and they can't prove what you have done, now you have the data to back it up. But the thing is that we always want to come out in front. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't want you to sit back and just let people take advantage of you. But there will come, nothing stays hidden under the sun, y'all. So there will come a time where they will get called to the carpet to show how they did that work and they will not be able to replicate it. And because you have your data in order, because you have your evidence list, you're ready. You ain't got nothing to worry about. Okay, go ahead and figure it out. And what takes them 3 months to figure it out, you figured it out in 2 weeks. Come on. So to answer the question, do you still ask for the raise or focus on areas of improvement? You do both. You ask for the raise after you have been able to successfully say how you have worked in those areas of improvement and make suggestions. Okay. Sophia travels. Yes, my love. It is absolutely okay. I used to tell my clients to email my direct supervisor. Hey, if you had a really great experience, can you email me and copy my supervisor? Why not? We're trying to keep the client happy. All right. Next question was, when is the best time and how to bring up the conversation of wanting a raise currently in mid-year evaluations? So Erica Kane, honey, I just answered that question. You want to make sure that you have evidence, you have your feedback, you have all of that information so that you can address getting your raise or evaluation. All right, the next question is, if you have a specific industry, you have your resume tailored for, should you then, hold on, y'all, this is a long question. If you have a specific industry that you have your resume tailored for example, customer service, should you then tailor it further for a position in the same area, depending on the area? All your responsibilities in your role may not be relevant, and there may be some things that you did or didn't list. Okay, so the question is, if you have a resume that's tailored for a specific um, area, for a specific industry, should you tailor it further? Um, when you are writing your resume, I want you to tailor it for the position that you are applying for. Here's where people struggle so much. The reason that people get overwhelmed when they are tailoring their resumes, and they feel like their resumes take so much energy out of them, it's twofold. Your resume, ladies and gentlemen, is a living and breathing document. Your resume is a living breathing document. That goes to say that you should not be updating your resume every like once every 5 years. Your resume should be up to date with the work that you have been doing. So it should be congruent with who you are. Secondly, your resume should reflect the impact that you have made over your job function. Okay. So if you're following me, I want you to type impact over function. Impact over function. I want you to type that in the chat. The reason that I want you to focus on impact over function is because when you are typing your resume, here's what I see as a career strategist when I get resumes. I get resumes that tell me responsible for managing the front desk and supporting senior vice president, right? That is a job function. When you give me impact, it sounds something like this: spearheaded the strategic oversight of the front desk that was responsible for volumes of 100 patrons that were walking in and a phone call volume of 50 calls per hour. Successfully managed the execution of supporting vice president and senior level administrators so that they could effectively lead the company forward. Can you see the difference between job function and job impact? I am going to want to focus on someone who is making impact over just function. Was that clear? If you were able to identify the difference between impact and job function, I want you to write clear, because I want you to be very specific. I want you to understand the difference between job function and job impact. Impact is going to make me want to connect with you. Job function just tells me that you know all of the details within your job function. So we want to focus on impact over function. The question that I get that usually follows is, what if my job doesn't have any metrics, Susana? Like, what if I don't do that? Listen, the way that you're able to identify the metrics that are relevant to you is by the work that you do. Okay. So one of the questions that I got was from a nurse. I don't know how to display the impact that I'm working with. Hmm. Okay. So tell me about your day to day. How many patients on average are you seeing as a nurse? She's like, oh, about 25. Okay. And in comparison to the industry, how many are you supposed to see per the industry? She was like, we're not supposed to have more than 12. Okay. So now you're telling me that you have successfully managed the care of patients that is 50% over the industry average. Can you see the difference between impact and job function? Okay. Impact over job function. Especially also if you are, another question that I get is, I don't know how to answer those metrics if I'm in like a service role. So like education, or I'm in social services. What is your day to day? What does your day to day look like? How many emails on average are you managing? How many phone calls on average are you taking in? Who are you supporting and why? Because that is going to give me more of a picture of the impact that you're making over just your job function. Okay. So I want you to be mindful of how you do this. And there's a couple places that you can do this for free, because I know that not everybody can work with a career coach. So there's a couple places that you can do this for free. The place that I'm always going to recommend first is Chat GPT, because if companies can use AI, so can you. And Chat GPT is free. So what you can tell Chat GPT to do is you can copy and paste your resume into ChatGPT and tell it to come up with 4 or 5 results driven bullet points for your industry. Okay. So let me see if I can put that in the chat. So you want to go into chat. Oh, I can't. It's coming out backwards, y'all. I can't put it in the chat. You want to go into Chat GPT and you want to tell it that you want 4 or 5 results driven bullet points for your resume. Now, look here. Okay. I'm going to tell you this with a whole lot of love. Do not, for the sake of everything holy, do not copy and paste everything that Chat GPT tells you and put it on your resume. Because the moment that we see it as hiring managers, we're going to know that this ain't you, that this was the AI. What you want ChatGPT to do is to give you a foundation from where you now can create and give specificity to the job that you do. Thank you, my professional agenda. Oh, I love her. Okay, y'all. So this is another plug. So Cassie is a certified resume writer and she is incredible. Okay. So if you need someone who is going to help you with your resume and I'm not for everybody, she is another incredible person for you to connect with. Okay. So do yourself a favor, use the free tools, go to Chat GPT, let it work on results driven data for you. So like that, you can copy and paste that and then add your flair to it. Okay. That is how you tailor your resume if you cannot afford to work with a career coach or with a resume writer. These tools are free. So there is no excuse for you to be mediocre. Because what we're not gonna do in 24 is be mediocre. Somebody type, not me. Not me. What we not gonna do is be mediocre. Not mediocre. I am spilling tea, friend. I am. Mm-mm. This is what happens, y'all. This is the reason why our people stay underpaid because no one is telling you how to do this. So they're telling you to update your resume, but they're not telling you how to do that. They're telling you that you should be tailoring your resume, but they're not telling you how to do that. Here's another area where I find people struggle. The reason why tailoring your resume gets so daunting is because you're tailoring your resume for every single opportunity instead of applying to 4 or 5 really great opportunities. Here's the place where people drown. You spray and pray and you apply to hundreds and thousands of possibilities instead of applying to 4 or 5 opportunities. Know the difference between opportunity and possibility. I am teaching today. This is like masterclass level stuff that I'm giving y'all. Know the difference between possibility and opportunity. If it is not in alignment with your shape, your heart, your shape stands for your strengths, your heart, your abilities, your personality, and your expertise. Baby, you're going to struggle. So know the difference between opportunity and possibility. Too many of us are spending time spinning our wheels with possibilities instead of focusing on opportunities. And when you lack clarity and when you lack focus, you lack a job. It'll keep you broke. Okay. Moving on to the next one. How to decline proceeding in an interview. Ooh, I love this question. How to decline proceeding in an interview process when you are no longer interested. Sometimes a lengthy interview process can quench your enthusiasm. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? How many of you have applied for positions and it's like 5 or 6 interviews and you got to give a presentation and you possibly need to give up your left kidney. You may need to give an ear or your eye, depending on the hiring manager. What we not going to do is do that. No, ma'am. No, sir. Mm-mm. So, how do we respectfully decline proceeding in an interview process when you're no longer interested? I know we are having church today. We are having career church today. Okay. Here's what I'm going to recommend: take ownership of your search. You need to start asking those questions in the forefront. There is nothing wrong with asking those questions. Given the timeline for this position, how long do you anticipate it will take to make a decision? I'm going to say that again. If you're a note taker, you may want to take notes. Given the timeline for this position, how long do you anticipate that it will take for you to make a decision for this position? The reason that you want to ask that question is because you are coming from a place of affirmation, knowing that you are not going to waste your time, instead of a place of desperation where you feel like you need to just get another opportunity or you just need to get another job. Affirmation over desperation. Because guess what? When you show up desperate, we can see that. And don't nobody want to work with desperate people. At least I know I don't. Okay. So we want to come from a place of affirmation, meaning you are not going to waste my time. If this is going to take 4 interviews and a presentation and I got to talk to your mama, like what? Mm-mm. Take ownership. This is another reason why I encourage my clients to start looking for a job while they have one. Start looking for a job while they have one. Because then the ball is in your court. You decide how much you are going to invest in some of these companies. Okay? The best time to look for a job is while you still are employed. And I know for some people, they are dealing with layoffs. Here's another caveat for my folks who are dealing with layoffs. Just because you got laid off does not mean that you are not qualified or worthy of a new opportunity. So do not internalize the layoff. Consider it redirection instead of rejection. Okay? So that is how you handle that part. How do you decline the interview process when you're no longer interested? You start at the very beginning. Hey, I'm really excited about this opportunity, but because I'm considering other opportunities, you can also say that I'm considering other opportunities. So do you have a timeline of how long you plan on making a decision for this role? That's it. That's it. That's how you take ownership. And if you are happily employed, the best part is that you don't have to make a decision out of haste because you're still getting paid. But if you're looking for a new opportunity and the right one comes along, now you can tell your current employer, thank you so much, but no thank you. And that's it, y'all. Okay. So that was how to decline a possible opportunity. Am I helping y'all today? If this is helping you, I want you to drop a gem in the chat, GEM or the gem emoji, because I want to make sure that you're getting what I'm sharing with y'all. I do not want you to feel hopeless and helpless. Nah. This is why my channel exists, because I want to give you strategy on how to take ownership of your career. I wish someone would have sat down with me to share with me how to take ownership over my career the way I'm teaching y'all. A lot of this I had to learn the hard way. And for me, it required a lot of tears and a lot of thick skin. If I can avoid that for at least one of y'all, then that's what I will do. There's no need. Listen, struggle does not need to be the standard, especially for people of color. There will be no gatekeeping here. Struggle will not be your standard, not in 24. But you need to be able to have strategy. Here's another thing that I want you guys to be paying attention to. I will show up live every Monday and Thursday and give you strategy and give you all of my love and attention. But if you do not implement, you will be stuck in the same place that you are stuck in right now. And I say that with all the love in my heart. I do not want you to have 24 be a repeat of something else, of the same misery that you are in. So I want you to take steps where it fits for you, take the steps that are necessary. I'm I'm loving all the gems in in the chat because this is real stuff, y'all. This is the stuff that I wish people would have told me. Okay? So I want you to be mindful that in order for you to be able to move forward, you have to implement what you are learning here. I could give you all the strategies till the cows come home. But if you don't strategize and if you don't implement, you're going to be stuck in the same spot. All right. The last question that I got was, I'm going into my third round of interviews on Thursday. Hey, friend. Okay. I really want this job, but I'm so nervous right now and worried something might go wrong. Any advice you have to help me nail this? Thanks so much. Okay, Helen. So here's the thing. If you've made it through the third round, sweetheart, it's likely because you're already qualified for the role. Now that you're at the third round, you want to become memorable and likable because you've already demonstrated that you're qualified. So I want you to focus on being memorable and likable. So, what does that look like? In that third interview, you should be recapping things that you have learned from the first two. So, what are some of the things that have really genuinely impacted you from the first two conversations that you had? This is why I encourage y'all to, whenever you go on an interview, make sure you take notes and that you ask questions. It should be more of a conversation than it is a firing committee of a whole bunch of questions. So, by the third one, with whomever you are meeting with, the most important thing is that you want to be memorable and likable. And so you want to make sure that you are asking questions that are thought provoking. That's how you become memorable. And that you are likable. Likable means that you know how to have conversation and that you can mirror the person that you're interviewing with. Okay. So I want you to be mindful of that. So, what does mirroring look like? I'm going to give you an example. One of the things that people notice quickly when they get to know me, even before I open my mouth, are my glasses. And I'm very strategic about my glasses. You know why? Can you guess why I'm strategic about my glasses and my eyewear? Let me see if you guys can guess. Why do you think I'm strategic about my glasses and my eyewear? I'm trying to catch up with y'all's questions. I love it. This is so good. Why do you think that I am strategic about my glasses and my eyewear? All right, so some of y'all are putting attention to the eyes, the first place someone looks. Somebody put my hairstyle. They're a conversation starter. You want people to look at your eyes. It makes you memorable. Yeah. First impression, attention to detail. More like let's see, they stare into your face, they hold attention. The reason that I'm so very intentional about my glasses is because what somebody said it, they make people comment on my glasses. It opens a conversation and it draws attention to the part of my face that I want them to focus the most on. This is how I become memorable. So some of these glasses that you see me use, I'm very specific with the design, with the embellishment on my glasses, with what I wear them with, especially when I'm going on interviews or I'm going to have speaking opportunities, because it's all part of me taking ownership of how I show up. Thanks. Thank you so much, a rich Philly 21. Thank you. All of what I do, when you see me show up online, when you see me show up at a workshop, when you see me show up at a convention, when I'm networking, it is specific to me owning my message. And so when you're going into the third interview, what about you is going to bring about that brand that you bring? One of the things that people tell me once they've encountered me in person, once they've been able to be kind of in my space, is that they feel warm, they feel welcomed, and they feel valued. They leave better than when they first came in. That's not something that I'm shouting from the rooftops because I want people's attention. It's because I'm intentional about building that type of relationship. And so when you're going into the third interview, you want to be intentional about the brand that you're bringing. How are you showing up? And what can I expect? And how can I expect for you to show up in the organization? By the third interview, the biggest thing that I'm trying to pay attention to is, are you going to be a good fit? Are you going to be a good fit? And so by the third interview, memorable and likable. Those are the things that I want you to focus on. And you become memorable by the way that you show up physically, even before you open your mouth. And you become likable by the way that you can have conversation. Okay. Arlitza Brown, honey, you are so welcome. So that's how you make it through the third round. We are going to be sending you all the great vibes, sweetheart, so that you crush this third round interview and let us know how you make it made out. But I love, love, love hosting these career questions, question and answer with y'all, because I feel like they are powerful and they're impactful. And if you've watched any of my videos, I tell you that I want you to see with a strategy. This is exactly what it looks like for you to be able to see with a strategy. Okay. So I want you to focus on those things. Now, questions that I have gotten so far is, do I work one-on-one with clients? I do. I do provide one-on-one coaching. Absolutely. You can send me a DM for that kind of thing. And we can have a conversation there. The other question that I got is, will this live be saved? It absolutely will. So it'll be saved on a couple of places. It'll be saved here on Instagram. It'll be saved on YouTube, and it'll be saved on my Facebook page. I'm trying to be in the places where it's going to help you guys the most, if you can't catch it on Instagram. And my name is the same across all platforms. So just search for Susana Alba on YouTube and you should be able to find me. Same thing on Facebook. Yeah. So the other question that I get is, do I have templates? Do I have a template for the resume? Do I have a template for the evidence list? And the answer to that is yes. Right now, right now, the Nail Your Interview series that I did back in November, we went through three things. We went through prepping you for your interview. We went through prepping your resume so that it's impact over job function. And then the last one, we went through salary negotiation and strategy. Those three videos are available to you. Okay. If you want to grab those three videos, they also come with all of the tools, the templates for strategy on your resume, the template for strategy on how to read job descriptions effectively, all of those things. Okay. And it's 50% off. So this is what I want you to do. If you need that kind of support, I want you, let me see where I can get it for you, because I want you to be able to grab it. If this is not for you and you feel like you've gotten enough, you are free to go, my love. You are free to go. But if you feel like you need some support and you cannot afford to work with a coach, I am going to tell you how you can catch those replays, um, and what you can do, because those will be very, very powerful for you. Um, but if you need that kind of support, just send me a message with the word replay, and I will send you the link for you to be able to catch those replays. When you catch those replays, they are 50% off. So it's a bundle of all three. You'll get the interview prep, the job prep, and the resume, and the negotiation conversations. You'll get all three of those. Okay. So you're going to leave this live You're going to send me a DM with the word replay, and I will send you the link for you to grab those. Okay. But if you don't want to spend any coin and you're like, Susanna, I'm on a tight budget, I can't afford to work with you. I want the replay, but I can't even afford that. Um, just go through my page, my love. There is so much information on this page for you to be able to nail your next interview with power. Because what we're not going to do is be mediocre. That's not what we're going to do. So this is, I see you guys commenting live on the live replay. I see you commenting on the replay. I see you commenting replay on the live. Y'all, my brain. This is what I want you to do. You're going to leave this live and you're going to send me a DM with the word replay. Okay? And when you do that, I will send you the link for you to be able to catch those replays of the nail your interview series. It is 50% off. Here's the other thing. When I send you the message, I'm going to also send you the coupon code. Please make sure that you copy the coupon code so like that you can get it for 50% off. Okay? And you will have access to those videos for up to a year. And the reason that we give you access for up to a year is because a lot can happen in 12 months. So after a year, it may not work. Okay. Pamela said, Amen. What we're not going to do in 24 is be mediocre. Yeah, no, we're not. We're not. No more playing small. Also, no more playing afraid. No more playing small and no more playing afraid. So, if this was helpful for you, I want you to comment, replay, send me a DM with the word replay, and I will send you the link for the replays. But if this was impactful for you, I want you to share this with another job seeker who needs this type of real career strategy search so that they can win in 2024 or they can win right now. Okay. So this was awesome. I am so excited that I was able to connect with y'all today. It's been dope. Before we wrap, I would love for you to tell me what has been your biggest takeaway from this conversation so far. Before we wrap, I would love for you to tell me what has been your biggest takeaway from this conversation so far. No more playing small and no more playing afraid. Yes, impact. Impact over function. 100%. 100%. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Yes, opportunities over possibilities. Come on. Yes, confidence. Come on, baby, you got this. Absolutely. Memorable over just qualified. Ooh, that's a word right there. Yes, ma'am. I love it. Come on, y'all. I love it. I love it. I love this. So I will likely go again. I will likely go live again on Thursday. And typically on Thursdays when I go live, I'm really just teaching you a career search or a leadership function that you can implement. So today was really just kind of answering your questions. Yes, blue avocado vibes. Yes, I love it. I love it. Um, I can't go into what a blue avocado is, but maybe on Thursday when I go live, I will tell you what a blue avocado is. Um, but on Thursday, I likely will teach you either a leadership functionality that you should be paying attention to. Because the lie that I see a lot of women believing is that because you don't have the title, you are not a leader. That's a lie. That is a lie. So on Thursdays, I usually teach leadership. On Mondays, I'm usually answering your questions. So just because you don't have a title does not mean that you cannot lead. The most difficult person for you to lead is to lead yourself. And if you can't lead yourself, you can't lead a team. That's why there's so many micromanagers. But that'll be a topic for Thursday. Opportunity over possibility. Yes, we are not trying to spray and pray. We're not trying to do that. I love it. So I love y'all. Thank you so much for rocking with your girl. Again, this will be live on, this will be saved here on Instagram, saved on YouTube, and saved on my Facebook page. If you commented replay, or if you messaged me the word replay, I will send you the link for you to grab the replays, okay? This is my first live and I really enjoyed it. Oh, I'm excited. Good, my love. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you enjoyed this live. Um, all right. So in true Caribbean fashion, I don't know how to say bye. So we're gonna end it right now before it gets really weird. But I thank you. I thank you for your time and attention. I hope that this was like a professional development session for y'all, on how to take ownership of your career. Because what we're not gonna do is be mediocre, and we are not going to allow other people to dictate how we show up. We are going to show up unapologetically, and we're going to stand in our truth. Okay. So I love y'all, and I will catch you guys on the flip. Have the most amazing rest of your week, and y'all go be great. Bye, everybody.